Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Talking Horses as we kick off week number 2 of the Spring Championship meet here at the Big A. Speaking of the Big A, he is the slightly less Big A. Anthony Stabile, I'm Andy Serling. Fortunately, we were rained off the turf. Doesn't come to any surprise. People saw the weather and knew that a little bit dicey yesterday, and perhaps we'll get some today as well. We'll hope it's mitigated a little bit. But great week coming up, and the Wood Memorial card came up just absolutely terrific.
Wood Memorial week. Looking forward to the Wood Memorial itself. Of course, the Carters come up with a fantastic race
as
well.
It's the best Carter we've had in quite a while.
Yes.
I'm glad to see people are recognizing the importance of a race like the Carter, and it's really well supported this year. Obviously, Speaker Corner is the horse to beat. You know, I put that poll up last night, putting up Venti Valentine search results, Speaker's Corner, and Moretti. Morello, who would be the most likely winner of these favorites in the stakes. And the big leader, I think it'll be over shortly, the poll, is Speaker's Corner. He's not the likeliest winner because he's the one who's facing the most competitive field. He's the best horse but he's not the likeliest winner because I may win. I'm not saying he might not win, but
I don't know who I would pick. I don't even think Morello will be the favorite when all's said and done.
I think he may be, but we'll see. That's fine. But you know, I'm not sure you're wrong. By the way, I wouldn't make a big bet. I wouldn't make any bet you're wrong. I think it's Venti Valentine because she's facing the least competition of any of them. You know, search results has to come back off the layoff and beat an informed horse like Glass Ceiling, as well as a couple of others. There's major contenders in the Carter, and I agree with you that Morello is. Whether he's a favorite, you may like him, he may well win the race.
Correct.
But he's against some legit horses.
It's really a fun Wood Memorial this year, too. The entire card's fun, but that Wood Memorial, you have a little bit of something for everyone, I feel like, with, early voting, and we'll see just how good he is. And, Mo Donegal coming back to the scene of his biggest win and probably better suited to Aqueduct than he was to Gulfstream Park. And then Morello's done nothing wrong. We'll just see if he can handle the extra distance.
All right. So let's get to some important business. I know you've been waiting very long for this. And if you're waiting and you haven't done anything, why have you not signed up for NYRA Bets?
I have no idea.
Head on over to NYRABets.com. Use the promo code STAKES200, and we will match with $200 of your initial deposit. Join NYRA Bets, support racing in New York, and keep the money in the game. We have a bet $50 on Aqueduct and Turf Paradise today. Opt in. And you'll earn $15 win or lose. That's Turf Paradise. What else do we have? We have the Wood Memorial Challenge, $500 buy-in. Big weekend, great contest, live money, prizes as well. So head over to NYRA.com/contest. You'll have till 5 o'clock tomorrow to sign up, a contest that we wish we could play if somebody would lend us $500. What else do we have?
I don't think it's that.
The Belmont Stakes. I have the 500. I know you do too, and I think the people at home know you do too. I hope they do. Then again, considering some of the things I read people say on Twitter, anything's possible.
Yes.
The Test of the Champion coming up. Belmont Stakes. Don't want to miss it. Going to be an amazing day. It will sell out. Get your tickets. Get them now while they're still available.
Hurry up.
Finally, America's Day at the Races. We're back to the full-time schedule. Keisha Courtney's back. She'll be joining me, or I'll be joining her for the first half of the show. The rest of the team here, the MIG is here, Maggie is here, of course, and Greg Wolf as well. I think Gary is down at Oaklawn, so the whole team on display. All right, let's get to work. We have our first off-the-turf race of 2022. Hopefully not a precursor of a lot to come.
We do.
In race number 1, and I'm guessing the favorite is going to be the number 5, Curlin's Wisdom. We'll actually show a turf race. The horse ran at Aqueduct. We had it up. We might as well show her. I tell you what I worry a little bit about her. I worry a little about distance for her.
Him
too.
Yeah, him too.
I worry that he's a him and not a her.
These races cut back. The first 2 off the turf races cut back to a mile, by the way, so this will be a one-turn mile.
It's all mile and 16th races are miles.
Andy, I don't disagree with you about the distance. To me, this horse...
Isn't she the lone speed, though?
He's supposed to be in front.
The lone speed.
Yes.
I'll get there eventually.
He's supposed to be in front. I mean, I'll say this.
Horse.
The horse you have on top, 2 back, going the mile, on a wet track...
Well, he was in front of him.
Was it? Yeah.
And Javier Castellano's riding Salute to America. It's nice to have Javier back. I didn't bring a program. I assume Javier's still on.
So Dylan Davis is on the 9, Moped Dennis. That was the only
that
rider
changes
change.
everything
That
for
was
me.
the only rider.
That's different.
That's not even a rider change. He needed a rider. He could not run without a rider. That's how it works.
That's good to know. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
We do nothing but enlighten
no
the
boy.
fans.
Remember, no boy? No boy.
Anyway.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, I agree with
I
you with
think that
Curlin's wisdom.
Cancel is supposed to be aggressive with
He's
this horse.
supposed to be, but does that mean he's going to be?
The answer to that question would be no. Doesn't
So,
mean he
I
won't
mean,
be.
I think Salute to America. I'll tell you another,
Well, want to know a sensible conclusion? Here's the argument for sensible conclusion. And this is the race that he lost by a nose, which it's watching the race every time. It's hard to believe he lost this race. The argument for him is he ran a race at 7 furlongs on January 27th that would win this.
that's his best race by leaps and bounds. His
That
best
race probably wins here.
Yeah.
Maybe not definitely, but it makes him very tough.
It puts him right on the
Then
money.
he just couldn't get the mile and eighth, collapsed at the end,
And
and
last
then
time
they
he got
ran him
involved
back.
in it,
They ran him back in 12 days after the mile and eighth race. Got involved in a strong pace.
Now he gets he gets almost 5 weeks. He gets the
Right.
hot rod and bug boy aboard. He's not fast enough to be in front.
Oh, you don't
but
want
he
him to be in
should be. No, he should be in a good spot, saving
No,
some ground.
he's very usable.
Yeah.
So what do you like about a Christophe
you know
Command
what?
horse that's presented for the turf?
Yeah, I
Turf pedigree as well.
he had a decent work tab on paper, obviously down in Florida.
there a story on this horse?
No, no story at all. I just thought I wanted a little bit of. I was not sure about Curlin's wisdom getting the distance. I don't know if sensible conclusion might just need to get back dropped into a claimer, even though it's an off the turf race.
Okay. What about this horse though? I mean,
It was a little bit of a fresh face. That was it. And like I said, the works on paper down in Florida were good enough where I take a little bit of a stab. I just hope he doesn't get overbet because of the connections.
I probably wouldn't worry about that, but maybe he's they're in the wrong service. The third dam is Alice Springs. It's really a very turf-oriented pedigree. I took Salute to America, who I'd liked in a race. They were dropping him down, do a scratch out of that. They're being more aggressive against Lasix for the first time. My feeling in here, and I struggle with this race, was I didn't want to pick Curlin's Wisdom. Even though I think he's the worst to beat, I just didn't want to put him on top. He's going to be favored in here. I have no argument with the 3 sensible conclusion. I'm not a big Moped Dennis fan, to be honest with you. His good race, he rode a good rail. I don't think he's impossible. I was kind of looking, I thought, Salute to America, he actually was involved in that fast-paced 2-back, and then he actually didn't run that badly last time, all things considered. I thought maybe he's just a little bit better price of the horses in here. So I took a small shot. I mean, he's 5-2 right now. I wouldn't bet him anything under 5-1 in here, and he should be higher than that. He really should.
I'm sure he will be.
6-1. Around here, I'm never sure of anything. No. Race number 2. Well, I imagine, and David Aragona did not make the morning line today. He will resume making the morning line starting with tomorrow's card. And I knew that was the case when I saw the morning line on the entry in the last race today. I knew that David hadn't made that line because he would have made that horse the even money he was going to be, or the 6-5, whatever. I know they scratched the 1A, but you got to assume they were both running. And so we'll take a look at Tap the Face Maiden Win. I have no argument against this horse. This horse is the horse to beat. I do have an argument against him. He came up a very good rail this day. She. Forget, I'm just the worst.
Bizarre world today.
She came up a very good rail in this race, and there's some question about how good some of the others were, though. The horse Omo Ray she beat was way against the track this day. She is okay, but she was wide the whole way. It was her first start a mile. I think she's going to be 4-5 in here. Maybe she should be 4-5. I'm just not completely sold on her, but she's the horse to beat.
Fair enough.
And Clement's not great off layoffs. This isn't a huge layoff, but his layoff numbers are not sensational.
No, listen. It's still 4 months. 4 months and a handful of days. So yeah, she gets to Lasix for the first time, like a lot of the newly turned 3-year-olds do. I don't know. I liked her debut. I know she was riding a good rail, but I liked her debut. I didn't think she ran that poorly in the Demoiselle, to be honest with you. She was a little tough to handle on the first turn, and there was the stretch out to the 9. Now she cuts back to the mile where she broke a maiden.
She didn't run poorly.
I don't know.
But she didn't run that well. But that effort might be good enough with routine improvement.
She kind of ran a maiden race. And I think that might be enough in here. A little improvement, a little maturity from 2 to 3.
That's fair. I'm not going to argue any of that. There's no argument with what you're saying. Early Glow. She came alive last time. It worries me a little with Early Glow. Didn't we see her mentioned running in this stake and that stake? So I don't know what sort of held her up, and I appreciate taking a more conservative route. She wasn't going to make Kentucky Oaks at this point. You get a non-winners in 1. If it works out, you got other races to point to. Mott's a trainer that's never afraid to go to the Black-Eyed Susan. I'm not totally convinced, that's all. But this was a good effort.
This was a good effort.
She ran.
The blinkers, the Lasix, showed speed. She showed speed the prior start as well, and just kind of folded up. Yeah, this was a good effort. She's going to have to deal with Waters of Merrim. She's going to have to deal with the rail.
The
runner
rail
here.
is the speed.
Yeah.
Waters of Merrim's not fast as her. I'm taking a chance with Diamond Collector to Wild Field. She's not going to be 3-1, in my opinion. She's going to be a significant third choice in here. Because I think the worst in the bottom is going to be close to 4-5 or even money.
Yeah.
And I think Mott's going to be closer to 2-1. So I think you're going to get more like 4-1 on her. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're probably right.
And Timeform US has her as good, if not better, than the others, for what it's worth. She got involved in that pace last time. She was down on the rail. I couldn't tell. The rail's often not great down at Laurel. I couldn't really tell. She has run some fast races. She's handled moisture in the track, and she is the controlling speed. And I'm just not totally sold on the others. And I feel like it's a good sign that she's coming back so quickly off that race at Laurel.
Yeah.
Because if she wasn't doing well, why would they bring her back so quickly?
No, I don't
Maybe
disagree.
she just didn't run a race down
it is
there.
a short field, but
So what?
not only did she come back quick, Andy, she worked.
I know.
She worked last Thursday. So
I'm gonna take a shot. She is supposed to be the controlling speed here, and I thought she was not. The others have upside, and they may be a little bit better, but I'm not sure the disparity is that extreme. And I thought at the price she was playable.
she's
I don't
catching them
love
both
her,
off.
but-
She's catching them both off little breaks too. One horse 10 weeks, one horse 4 months.
Race number 3. Race number 3 is either really easy or really hard. Because No Burn, and we'll take a look at No Burn losing at Laurel last time, and he should have won this race. He really should have. But I still think his effort in this race is good enough to beat this field. And he's the controlling speed. I know they're dropping him, but they claimed him for 40. They made a little money with him, and they're moving on. I don't love the drop off of a race he should have won, but he wasn't that between horses. I wanted to pick against him, Anthony, and ultimately, I just couldn't find a horse I was comfortable taking against him. But
Fair enough.
I can understand you having some hesitation with him. I'm not going to knock that.
Yeah, I had a little hesitation on the ship down to Laurel. I know he was in the Danny Velasquez barn, but he went from Bill Morey to Velasquez. Then he comes back up here, and now he's with Rob Atras.
Well, it feels like Morey probably wasn't licensed down there, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
So that's what it felt. I could be wrong, but
But he didn't come back to Morey, which I thought was a little interesting. He came back to Atras. Morey's still here. And Rob does a good
make
job.
a very great point. No, a very good point.
Rob does a
Not
good
quite
job at placing his horses. So like you said, yes, he was claimed for 40. I think you have there's a little license when it's not you who made the claim for 40 to be able to run for the 35,000.
Well, I don't think Robert Bone is letting him run him there if he doesn't think it's the right move.
Listen, this
It's
is
not-
where he belongs, right? 35-3 life. This is kind of where he belongs because
Right. Somebody
truth
wants
of the
to claim
matter
him,
is-
so move on.
Truth of the matter is, he should have won last time.
He should have won that race. And I don't like favorites off of races that lost races they should have won.
I mean, he had no excuse.
I have no argument with any of that. I'm not going to. So what do you like about Airshow?
I took a little shot with Airshow. This is a horse I was kind of against in the winter. The day he beat Straight Skinny. He got
ran that day. He never ran back to it,
No,
but
he
he
never
ran
ran
that
back to it. But it was a sloppy track. So I'm hoping some moisture in the track can wake him up a little bit. I don't know. I felt like the race last time was against, I don't want to say better, but I think top to bottom that field was probably a little bit better than this field.
That's fair. I mean, I think that No Burn is better, but I'm not going to argue it was a little deeper.
Yeah. So he made a little bit of a middle move into that pace. He gets a rider change to Trevor McCarthy in here. Take a little shot. I'll try him.
Okay. I think Road to Success is dangerous because of the Arriaga claim. I respect his claim so much that I could use this horse, but he is kind of a cut below these horses overall. He beat a very, very
He beat a
subpar
suspect
field. He
field
just beat
last
nobody
time,
last
yeah.
time. Now, Charger. Take a look at Charger on the rail. And he got it done last time, but on the other hand, everybody beats Quick Flash. Quick Flash feels like he could be second to you, and I know Horseshoe. My voice has been fine all morning. I did a podcast.
My
It was
allergies
fine.
are killing me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry to hear that. But I think it's interesting, and it's interesting that you talk about Airshow, because Airshow's won far and away the best race he's run recently, was off the claim for Tom Morley. Tom Morley's got, this is over the last year. No, that's not 5 years, guys. That's why I capitalized 1. That's a 1-year stat, if we could, don't have to correct it now, but it's a 1-year stat. Tom is 7 for 20 off the claim on the dirt over the last
Fantastic.
12 months with an ROI of just under $4.
Nice ROI, yeah.
Those are pretty heady numbers.
Yeah.
And I think for that very reason, you have to respect this horse a little bit.
Yeah, I'm using 1, 3s, and 5s.
All right. Let's see what happens in race number 3, which starts the pick 6. Race number 4.
Sorry. Race 3 starts with
You
pick
should be
6.
very sorry. You were doing so well. You had to start. Nosferatu is not happy with this. You didn't see it, but he just looked over you and shook his head.
I'm sure he did. No, I don't like that thing.
Race number 4, we are off the turf. So we'll look at Umbria and Jade's Dream running 2-4 last time. I don't disagree with you that Umbria is fine. My problem is this was a race where the pace held together, on a day where pace is held together, and to me, Jade's Dream, who for only the second time really in his life, remember that he was a dirt horse. I thought Jade's Dream ran the better race because he was the one making the big close in here in a race on a day where just the pace held together.
Yeah, you know, I didn't know what to make of. This is by far Jade Dream's best dirt race. By far, I know he has that 64 back in June of 2020 when he was second at almost 65 to 1.
Ran huge that day.
He did.
I don't know. I don't get it either. I mean, the majority of his dirt races are not good. But his last race was good.
He was hard for me to trust off of that. I guess.
But he showed life last time, and
Yeah,
I'm not going to go against his last race. And I think he'll be just a better price than Umbria. I don't have a big problem with Umbria, because the reality is once you get past them, wow, you don't even have the 2 in the top 4.
Listen,
Jumpster.
This was one of those races where I kind of feel like, of all the races so far today, of all the races on the turf today, this was the race affected the most. I really didn't have a good feeling here. I didn't want to pick Umbria, but you almost, unless you think Jade's Dream can do that again, you almost wind up with Umbria.
Well, I don't like Sandra the Great, but this race 2 back was good enough to give him a chance. And he got caught up in that fast pace last time, and that Liam's Fire, who I should have picked on Sunday. I was so mad at myself after that race. He's coming out of 2 meltdowns. He was in the pace with this horse last night, when they ran. The next time he was in that big meltdown race. I'll clear my throat after the break, or during the break. I don't want anybody else. I got to run for Boston third. And if I've got to run for Boston third, I was reaching.
I put Jumpster second here.
He
was good off the layoff.
breaking stones.
He was good enough off the layoff last time, though. I thought he ran well enough.
No Rudy?
Consider,
no Magic or Rudy. His horses are running like
third, first time races.
With a Magic Wand.
This horse's dirt races are appalling.
Well, so was the horse that made a 96 buyer in the last race here the other day.
That horse had a semblance of form in his life. This horse got beat. This horse has gotten beat 40 lengths combined in 3 dirt starts. I got the horse third.
I understand.
For the Rudy factor. First time Lasix. It was off the turf field.
I'm scared of anything coming from his barn right now.
Yeah, first. And
I agree with you. I agree. His dirt races are terrible.
And the one thing he has.
He wanted to give him a race when it came off the turf, and he just a favor.
He has some speed. So maybe he can be forward.
I would like to see Jade's Dream be aggressive with Kendrick. I think he
the last race was so weird, and I didn't know what to do with him.
No, listen, he's not reliable.
It was a weird race.
Because the majority of his dirt races stink, but he's got 2, including the last one, that can win. Believe me, I'm not confident by any stretch. That's the first 4, the late pick 4, after a quick break, and I clear my throat.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets.
We're back. Anthony Stabile, Andy Serling.
Hello.
Talking horses.
That was very low. We're back. Like a Saw movie.
I don't see horror movies. I'm afraid of horror movies. I don't understand.
You can get rid of the gore. You'd love the Saw movies.
Nah, I don't.
I was able to get past, because I'm not a horror movie guy, but I got past the gore.
I watched The Sting again this week.
Classic.
greatest movies ever. The card game scene, The Sting, is one of the greatest scenes ever. Paul Newman says to Robert Redford, "You're up." What he says, "You're up, kid." I got to tell you, it's a tough act to follow. Race number 5. So Cousteau. He is the speed in race number 5. We will look at his last race.
Was this simple mathematics here, Andy? He just doesn't want the mile? I mean, I thought he ran well enough, but he really had no excuse.
He just doesn't seem to be putting it together to win races.
No, he just doesn't want to finish the
I just thought
job.
there were more interesting horses in this race. I'm not against him. I won't be shocked if he wins here. It's just sometimes you look at races and you think, I could use 4 of them. Someone's got to get left by the wayside. And he's the one that got left by the wayside a little bit for me. That's all.
I put him, you and
We
I
got
kind
the same
of,
4.
we just flipped
not
everything,
surprising.
yeah.
But I'm not going to be surprised if he wins, but he just hasn't. He should have won last time.
He should have won. It's funny. Who was that earlier? No Burn and Cousteau.
Cousteau's in a tougher spot, though.
Cousteau's in a tougher spot, but it's kind of like deja vu, as Yogi would say, deja vu all over again, right? They both had these leads that they probably should have just finished the job, and neither one of them did. And No Burn, No Salt will be a shorter price than this horse. No Burn will be a shorter price than this horse will be. But
I also think that Cousteau is going to have a horse in Rock Sugar in attendance who I prefer. Now, if you don't like Rock Sugar and you have him second, then you're less worried than I am. But I like Rock Sugar, and I know Rock Sugar didn't run well last time. I don't know what went wrong. But I would say one thing: be more aggressive with him. I know he faced nobody 2 back, but so what? They were aggressive. Be more aggressive with him. Put him in the game. And I hope it pays off. I'm not going to excuse his last race. He did not run well last time, but we haven't seen him now for 6 weeks, so maybe something went wrong, and I'm going to give him one more chance for William Morey.
okay, yeah, I
We'll
want
start off like gangbusters and it's sort of slowed down.
I want Emperor's Cause off the actress claim.
Talk about him.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing, my biggest bugaboo with him is those last 2 wet track races before the race last time are a concern. I know he's run well on wet tracks in the past, but those 2 races are a little bit of a concern, and then they dropped them in for the quarter. And the way horses get claimed around here are New York Redwood conditions. They knew they were going to lose him last time. They had to know they were going to lose him last time. So, but now he goes into the actress barn, and Rob does very well off the claim. And I just thought that between the barn upgrade, the fact that there is a little speed signed on in here, I was willing to.
He's not that slow.
No, he's not. No, he's not, and that should put him in the right kind of position behind the speed in here.
You know what?
I wanted him.
I got him second. I'm not.
Yeah, we saw the race. We saw the race pretty similarly.
I think the problem with Emperor's Cause is we've had this discussion up here. There is a tendency by all of us, includes me, and a lot of people. You say, "Well, it's Rob Atras. He claimed this horse from a 9% trainer. It's a no-brainer." Some of these lower percentage trainers are tougher to move up on than the winning trainers.
No, I don't
We've talked
disagree.
about that a lot, and I think I know. There was a period of time in my life when I'd see something like this, I said, "Oh my God, Rob Atras from somebody who's winning at under 10%. It's a cinch." It's sometimes these are horses that are just not that easy to move up. I have no problem with this horse. I agree with you. I'm not as optimistic, and I'll tell you something. I think Blue Grotto's going to run well in here. I mean, we'll show his race where he finished second.
I'm so sick of wasting money on Blue Grotto. It's not even funny.
I bet you haven't wasted more than $80 on him in your life.
I've wasted more than
you have?
$80 on.
I don't recall you liking this horse
I
that
loved
much.
him back when you were off. I loved him back in December when he was in Gravesend at the half-mile pole and he got beat 2.5 lengths.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know what went wrong last time. He is a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde horse.
When he doesn't show up, man. When he shows up, he runs well like he does here. When he doesn't show up, whew.
Well, he's also 1 for 13 with 6 seconds and thirds, and that kind of bothers me. Now, they're all 1-fers in this race, so it's not that big a deal. I mean, the one is 1 for 16 with 5 seconds, and, Rock Sugar's 1 for 9. He worries me, though, because he's good enough to win this race. In fact, he's absolutely good enough to win this race. And I think he's going to be a decent enough price. So I'm not, you look at the odds, 2-1, 2 3s, and 7-2. I get it. I'm not knocking the line. I wouldn't want to make the line in here, and if I did, it would be inaccurate. But it's hard to believe they're all going to be the similar price.
Well, I think the way
Someone's
the
going
line,
to get lost.
I think the way the line was made was this was decidedly 2 batches of horses. The 4 horses we
Yeah,
have.
I agree, but I think that this horse,
You might
of
be right.
all the 4,
He'll be
might
the longest
separate
shot.
a little bit. Maybe he'll be 5
He'll be
to
the
1.
longest
Maybe
shot.
he'll be 5 to 1.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
He'll be the longest shot.
I don't mean that as a line criticism because I couldn't. And I get it, and I think you're right, and I get why they did it. I just wonder if he'll be a little bigger price than the others.
It was a tale of 2 races.
Race number 6, I think race number 6 is the trickiest race in the card in a way. Because clearly
I
you
agree.
picked Adeline, so you obviously agree. It is a minefield, this race, to be honest.
That's a great way to put it.
I'm going to start out with the horse who has far and away the best last out effort. That's Lady by Choice.
Man, she runs this race. This thing's history.
Well, except she came up a gold rail. So did she really run as well as it looks like she ran?
If you knock that fig 8 points down, though, that last race is still going to be really tough for these other fillies in there to handle.
Might be 15 points
Well, it
better.
might be, yeah.
And where has she been since that race? And now she's coming in and running for 12,500.
Hey, listen.
I mean, if this horse, they aren't begging somebody to take her. The thing is, she's got other efforts that aren't so bad, bless you,
Excuse me.
that aren't so bad that they don't give her a chance. You know, this is not a race that's likely to be won by a horse running a 78 buyer.
Correct.
I don't want her. You've got her second. I don't bet horses off big blowout wins that were 30 to 1 on gold rails, but
But it's kind of like what you said. She has other races that make her competitive in here.
trust me, I'm not taking a big stand against horses in this race. I mean, I look through this field. I don't know that there's anybody in here I don't think has a little bit of a chance. I guess My Girl Lexi's a little tough to make, but after that, seriously, we'll go
I
through
wasn't
them.
laughing at that.
I mean, all right. Go ahead with Adeline. I don't like her, but go ahead.
Listen, I had a my
She beat Mebs Webb, who would be 400 to 1 in this race.
And you know I hate taking these condition claiming horses. I do. But
Apparently not as much as I do.
with Serenic, guns blazing, and quality stones in here, they got to put some pace on for her. And when she gets pace on, she usually runs.
Isn't Guns Blazing the speed of the speed?
I mean, yeah, but the other 2 aren't that slow, and the other 2 can't do anything
Who was
else
the one
but
beside?
go.
Well,
Right, how easy would this race have been? This race 2.5 months ago would have been so simple.
We'll just have-
Magnetique first off the claim, see you later. But the way the barn has cooled off at a short, I mean, Magnetique might be, she's the favorite on the morning line, and she might be the favorite in here. She's got to go from the mile back to 6 furlongs.
wait a minute. You know how bad she was last time?
But I'm just
That
saying
was
the way
a
the
bad race.
barn started off.
But they're not winning
But they're
anymore.
not, right? That's what I'm saying. This race, add that to the minefield.
And I'll tell you something else about Magnetique. There was a reason that Michelle Nevin dropped this horse
Yes.
back. She knew she was getting rid of her. She found a field that she had to fall down to lose
She
against.
pounded that field, and you knew you were losing
But
her.
that 80 buyer is an aberration.
And she came back, and she did not
you
run
knew
well.
that Michelle wanted to wash her hands of this horse.
Yep.
And I got her third like you do. I won't be surprised when she
No.
wins, but I feel like she may just not be a
But
horse
again,
anymore.
part of the reason I think I used hers because I feel like there's going to be some speed in there,
And
and it
I-
falls apart. She should be there to pick up some pieces sooner rather than sooner than some of the others in here.
She can win.
Yeah.
I'm not. Serenic can win here. I didn't put this stat down, but Linda Rice, 6 months to 8 to 12 months dirt sprint. She's only 8 for 71, 11% and $1.14. This horse was entered at least once this winter.
At least,
once.
I think twice.
Okay. Voided claim. This horse ran off on IRAD last time. I don't know what to do with this
In
horse.
for the
but
waiver.
That's the waiver. I was going to say that.
In for the
That's a
waiver.
good sign.
That's a good sign. I mean, a lot of people just take the base on balls, which is understandable. You put a lot of, this horse has been gone 6.5.
No. It's a good sign. This horse is in it for a waiver.
Yeah, you take the free shot. The pot's 35. You take the free shot, and then if she wins or runs second, you jam her next time, and you run her for the same thing. I'm sure the pot gets a little higher.
Why I've got her second? Because of the waiver. To be honest with you, if it wasn't for the
I
waiver,
just don't know what kind of a. I mean, she's got to be part of a. She's got to be chasing, or she's got to be part of a pacing here.
No, she doesn't need. She's not. She just ran off last time. I don't think she's a horse that has to have the lead, and I doubt she does with Eric. I doubt
And her
she
best race by leaps and bounds when she was able to control
I thought the
and
speed
win.
was guns blazing.
It's probably.
I
probably
was
the
very
speed of the speed.
surprised by this stat, Anthony.
Okay. What stat is that, Andy?
It's the stat we're putting up.
Let's see it.
Bob Caceres, they got the 4 years, right? They're back for 4 years. I didn't capitalize it. He's 1 for 30 off the claim. That surprise you?
Gonna date us now.
What?
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if I told you that 35 years ago that was gonna happen?
No.
Impossible.
I thought it was interesting.
Me too. That's an interesting.
And
Because
listen,
despite that, Bob has a really good opinion.
no, I'm not.
And that's
I only put it up because I was so
very surprising.
surprised that his numbers were bad.
Very surprising.
His numbers haven't been bad since he came back. It's just that off the claim numbers aren't good. So
Very surprising.
why did I pick the 2, Big Al's gal? Because she has form that can win, and since she was claimed by Antonio Arriaga, she ran in 2 races that she
Impossible
had
spots.
0 chance in. Combined, 0. And now she drops down, and I think she might get a little lost in the shuffle. And how can I resist? Any horse I want to play a little bit with.
Jackie, of course.
Well, I know
this is 2 of
she's-
your This is 2 of your favorites.
Antonio Arriaga
yeah,
and Jackie.
this is 2 of
yeah.
your favorites.
Yeah, you're right.
This is 2 of your
I didn't even
favorites.
notice that.
This would
but
be
that's
like a
a
Mont Rosario
that's-
for me.
Yeah,
I'd be
that's,
salivating.
You're right. You're right. You like Mont Rosario.
But
I
get
like
2 to
Antonio
1 and you
Arriaga,
get- but
Jackie
I get,
Davis.
I get
You
2 to
know.
1, you get 12 to 1.
Yeah, there you go. There you have it. All right, race number 7 as we come back. Dancing Buck is going to play, and I'm kind of wondering what he'll do because he does have a little bit of foreign dirt. My more thing is that Michelle probably thought, you know what, this race isn't going to come back right away.
Gotta get him
Let's get a
started.
race under his belt. He's run well enough in the dirt. I might as well find out now if I want to leave him in off the turf races, if I want to run him in the dirt again.
Yeah, I mean, he
Some
broke
killers
his,
in here.
He broke his maiden, and he ran behind Nikki
Oh.
DeVest, Lobster, and Perfect Money.
It's not Jackie. She's off her mouse. Jackie. She did this to me before. Him and Harkey's riding this horse. Jackie took off a horse and he rode that would have won it a huge price in the last race.
Sorry, buddy. In any event, yeah, I
I'm
Dancing
taking this
Buck-
personally.
I can tell
You
you.
would.
I would.
I know you would.
Very.
Anthony's a lot of things. Unself-aware, not one of them. He is very self-aware.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So the main race where the big players come out in here is the race where they all lost. American Gentleman, Trash Talker, and Castle Chaos. You weren't here for this. I picked Fitzpatrick at 12 to 1. I'm just going to say it right there. I'm going to get out there.
This was all you?
Yeah, it was all me.
I don't
It
think
was
I
all
knew
me
that.
from Mark Hennig. I don't know that 6 furlongs really helps Trash Talker, to be honest with you. You know? I mean, I will say, though, he is supposed to have somewhat the run of the race. I just don't trust him. I thought his 1 win was kind of dressed up a little bit. Got the right trip. You've taken Castle Chaos out of this race.
What do you mean? You think he's going to be able to get in front of Scacciatore?
Well, I'll get to that. What do I think? I think that he is faster than Scacciatore, but I do wonder if they'll be more aggressive with him. But I think he's faster than him.
Okay.
Go on with Castle
Fresh
Chaos.
gelding. I thought he ran okay last time.
Just okay, though.
Yeah, it was
Just
just
okay.
okay. I thought his race 2 back with Southern District. I thought when he beat Mandatory. You know, if you look over his whole card, his last race is probably his worst race. And you don't really, more often than not, you don't want to bet horses off their worst race. But he gets the Fresh gelding. He gets Trevor McCarthy in the boot. Let's see how Rob Falcone does at the spring meet after having a sensational
I'm guessing
win
he
today.
wasn't gelded 5 days ago. What do you think?
No, it's the gelding is announced when they do. For people who don't know, some trainers do call it in. More often than not, it is
Should call
announced.
it.
It is.
It's
reported
bad to
when
have
he's
that
entered.
information because it's going to
Yes,
mislead
it's
people.
good, right.
And that's, once again, my problem with this.
Yes.
I think, for me, the reason to like him out of that race was he was 2 to 1 last time, and he's going to be 4 or 5 to 1 today. That's the reason I would like him. That you're going to get a better
one of the
price,
reasons
and
I
he
like
was
him, yeah.
and he was a short price last time, and you get a better value. So he's sort of a better value play. As far as Scacciatore, we'll show his last race. He has developed a bad habit of hanging.
Bad
He should have
habit.
beaten Run with Scissors. Frankly, he should have beaten American Monarch. Now, American Monarch ran a fast race, and so did he.
But he's supposed to. I don't
Reggae
disagree with
Music
anything
Man,
you said.
you know, he could have beaten him. He has improved. But he is developing a bad habit. But I'm not going to ignore the record of Jeffrey Englehart off the claim. His
think
horses off the claim at Aqueduct have been nothing short of sensational.
I think the problem with him too is he he coughed up the lead to American Monarch, and then he couldn't run down Radiant Music Man. He just get a horse that's.
Radiant Music Man's not bad though.
Yeah, no, but
See,
it's a-
I don't
but-
think he's
but
going to be 2 to
getting
1.
into a bad
I don't think he's
habit.
going to be 2 to 1 here.
I don't disagree with you.
I thought trash talking. I'm not sure. This is a tough race. Is there anybody else?
I don't believe so.
I mean, American Gentleman can win, by the way.
Yeah, he could.
Rejected Again win. Break the horrible run off the claim for Linda Rice. She actually doesn't have terrible numbers off layoffs and claims. He's got dirt races that can win here.
He does have dirt races that can win.
Dirt races that are okay. I wouldn't just totally dismiss them. Race number 8.
The finale.
Motion to strike. He will not be 3 to 1. That's a bad morning line.
You don't think so?
You know, I think he's going to be about 6, 7 to 5. He's dropping down.
A big fig in the
Back to the
slop
same.
too back.
Yeah, back to the same. Well, he looks like the controlling speed on
He
paper.
does.
I think we can show that race 2 back in the slop. God, there's nothing worse than hearing
How
Mitch's.
loud is
There's
Mitch?
nothing worse than hearing
I
Mitch
mean,
Levitas'
really?
voice when I don't have to.
It's not even
It's
time,
bad enough when
Mitch.
I'm sort of being paid to hear him. You know, but
You got
I mean,
15
Claude
minutes,
threw
man.
the headset once Mitch's voice came on. I think he broke him. I mean, you had to.
Wow. You're fine, Claude. It's not your fault.
Mitch
It's
should come
Mitch's
with a
fault.
volume control on his side.
Yeah, Mitch
you know? You
does.
just
I think
turn
he
him-
has it in the back of his head.
So Mitch has been a producer here since they invented the television.
Mitch was the first guy ever in my ear at the old New York City OTB Thoroughbred Central show.
Wow, no wonder. That explains a lot.
19 years ago. It does explain a lot, doesn't it?
I have to admit, he is the horse to beat today, but he did lose that race riding a gold ring.
Yeah, I mean-
But he lost to a horse that would beat these horses that got a very good ride in the inside as well.
I probably should have had him higher.
Wow.
I have him 4th. Yeah.
Wow.
I probably should
There's
have
a,
had him
there's
higher.
a John Atfield tip on Jelly Blue.
They said the horse is doing well. It's a fresh gelding. He's dropping
there is a
down.
story.
Running for the dropping down fresh gelding. I just
Ran
wanted-
big on the
I
dirt in
wanted
the one
somebody
race.
different.
Woo! Woo!
I just
What an
wanted
effort that
somebody
was.
different, sir. I had enough of We Ready after last time. I don't know what to do with what Maury shipping in from
Tell you
the
something about
off
We
weather.
Ready. We Ready has been
You
running.
love this horse, man. You,
No,
you,
but
you're
We
the
Ready-
president of the fan club.
Well,
Oh, you picked him? Yeah, I knew
He's
you
been
would
running
pick
at the
him.
wrong distance.
He has been running at the wrong
That's
distance.
what it is.
Yeah.
And every time I liked him, I said I don't like.
Yeah.
I worry about the distance.
Yep.
And
This is the right distance today.
he's
He
running
wants
at the
to
right
sprint.
distance.
Yep.
So I'm going to give him a last chance. Believe me, Anthony, I didn't want to pick him, but I can't take your horse. I looked at him long and hard, but his one dirt race is a joke. He was 4 to 5. And Lord Gatling. I mean, this is a noble mission from a Dubai Millennium mare. It's a Juddmonte huge turf pedigree. They ran the horse in synthetic, and now they're dropping in for 20 just as turf season
On
starting.
dirt, just as turf.
Just as turf season. Give the horse one chance in the turf.
My biggest thing, and I probably should have
Poor
motion to
Claude.
strike
He left.
second.
Mitch
Probably
was
should have
ruined
put
the day
motion to
for him.
strike second or third. But I don't want anybody who's going to be even.
You're fine, Claude.
I don't
You can
want-
go. I'll see you upstairs.
I don't want anybody.
About 2
who's
minutes.
gonna be- This is like live look-ins as to how the things operate around here.
Not well.
I needed that. I didn't want a horse in here that was going to be 6, 7, or 5. I probably should have had him higher, but you really want any of these horses at the short price? Source had a lot of. Source had 7 chances too. Motion to
but
strike.
he looks like the speed.
He does.
But I'll say one thing: if your horse is live today, he's going to be
He'll be
forward,
forward.
and the 10 can be forward as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like the races without potential speed.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be the speed, but it's not like.
10's supposed to go. I mean,
Yeah.
doesn't Dylan have to go from out there?
And
He
he's
can't-
another fresh gelding. Now this horse has had 2 months off between the geldings. This was announced back in March, so I don't know if this horse was entered down in Kentucky. This was announced a little less than 2 weeks ago, so I don't know if this horse was entered in Kentucky and scratched to come up here. I don't know, but he was forward in both of his races. Dylan's outside. Dylan's been aggressive for the better part of a year now, so yeah, you would imagine there's some speed on in here.
We're done. I got to go upstairs. Reunite with Acacia for the first time in like
I went and saw her for a
4
little while.
months or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're done.
We're done. Back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
That's right.
Can't say that for Saturday.
11:15 on Saturday.
Yes, there you go.
First post is 12:50. Anthony and I will be on for get a little over an hour of us Saturday. I'm looking forward to that.
Wow.
Look forward to every day. Forward to being at the races. Looking forward to everything that's happening. Look forward to you joining Naira Bets. You, and I mean you.
You're good, you.
Keep Anthony employed 200. Join Naira Bets.
Or Stakes 200, it's a little quicker.
NairaBets.com. We will match $200 initial deposit. Play through Naira Bets. Keep the money in the game. Also, $15 bonus if you bet 50 or more at Aqueduct and Turf Paradise today. You must opt in over at Naira Bets. We have the Wood Memorial Betting Challenge, a $500 buy-in for that 11 race card. Cash and seat prizes, all live money, all good. Head over to NYRA.com/contest. Want to play those contests? They're really great fun. Live money contests, the way to go. That's also the Belmont Stakes tickets. They're going fast. We can hear them selling as we speak. Head on over to BelmontStakes.com. Get your tickets. Do not miss out on considered a mid-year championship day of racing. And finally, last but not least, the crew is back. All day long. Those of you who have been saying, I like the show when you guys are on for 20 hours a day, and I appreciate that. Why anybody would want to watch me for that much long, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't.
They know I won't be on for the whole time, so they're fine. Anyway, believe me. 1 to 6
Yes.
here in Oakland. All right, I got to head upstairs.
Happy opening day, by the way. Baseball.
Oh, yeah. Mets play tonight. Yeah. What a great opening day. Mets play tonight and the Yankees were canceled.
Tyler McGill. I'm going to leave you with that, my friend. It's your
Who's
opening
that?
day starter.
For who?
For the New York Metropolitans of Queens. Q Thorough.
Who is he good? I guess we have to hope so.
He's not Jacob deGrom or Max Scherzer.
Anthony, the season hasn't started. Stop complaining. Just be glad that baseball's back. Can you at least be happy for a couple weeks?
Let's go Mets.
Okay.
I'll give you a couple of days.
There you have it. I mean, it's going to be between you and Jimmy Riccio whining about the Mets. It's torture. John and Brielle up next. The reprise of Scratches and Changes. Everybody have a wonderful day at the Big A.
Be a part of the racing action Saturdays at Aqueduct with live money contests available online through Naira Bets. A $300 buy-in adds $200 to your contest account, while the other $100 funds the cash prize pool paid through 10th place. Follow along with the races on America's Day at the Races while keeping track of your leaderboard standings on Naira Bets. After the contest, your bankroll and prize winnings are shifted back into your Naira Bets account to start betting or withdraw. Register to play today at NYRABets.com/contests.